Alright, I'm going to do a quick winter update because tonight is supposed to be the first night we get freezing temperatures. It's supposed to drop down to the low 20s tonight and be cold for the next 2 days. So my earlier video on Friday, my friend Nate came and helped drain the big 2-inch suction line to the pump, and we drained the 300-foot hose that went up the hill. Saturday I went back and I drained the actual pump itself, and I had to undo the hose because there was a dip in it that was still holding water. Saturday I also drained this big hose, which is the one that comes down from the top of the hill that brings water pressure. And that hose used to go behind the shock shack, which is missing. I'll show you that. And it used to go into these 3 filters. But I went ahead and opened up all filters, drained these filters here. And there's one more 50 micron filter that I moved inside the insulated shed. The shock shack I moved over here about as far as this cable would go from the tree there that has my 5G signal booster. So if I need to, I can put a little battery unit in here to power the, I guess, router or modem for the signal booster, and also Starlink cable will reach in here. So I haven't tested that stuff out, but I did get this out of the way. Camper, I had to hook air hose up to all the water lines, drained all the water in the camper. I still had some liquid cleaning supplies in there, so I moved those into my camper up there. I took the battery that was here and my boat battery, and I brought them up here and charged them up before putting them in storage here where it'll be a little warmer. I don't know if it'll be freezing. So this is my old camper battery. This is the boat battery. I used the charger and charged them up before storage. Bought this today so I can see what temperature it is in this little hutch under here. I moved 2 battery banks there, a Jackery and a Evenflow, or another one, but those are battery banks that I moved in there just to keep them warmer. So got that done yesterday. Over here I had one empty tank, so I swapped that out with a new one. So I got this pretty full one and a brand new one that I just put in there, so propane's ready. Over here I drained all the tanks, including the black water tank and the 2 gray water tanks, so those now have less water, and I just wanted to do it before it gets cold because draining tanks in the cold is no fun. I filled up the potable water, which I wasted a lot of that water on a project today, putting in an accumulator pump because I had to drain the water hoses and stuff, but I still have 3/4 of a tank, so should be good there. And then inside the insulated shed, as you can see, it's pretty dark in here. I got a little flashlight there, but I also hooked up a light. So that light, if I close the door, oh, and I got these right inside the door in case I need to find a light. But I got a light put in there. That's on the 12-volt system. I had to put this inverter here because my batteries are 48 volts and this light takes 12 volts. And this new diesel heater that I installed also takes 12 volts. So the diesel heater and the little light come off of this. But I tested this diesel heater and it works pretty good. And then as backup, I have this portable electric heater that I could plug in. I'm not even sure I'm going to need to heat it. It's nice and warm in here. But this is my filter here for the 50 micron. And I don't want that freezing, so I brought it in here. I drilled a hole in this water tank. I filled this tank, as you can see, to the top. I actually overflowed it because I forgot I left it running, and Nate and I went on the four-wheeler, and I came back and the water had drained. It was overflowing onto the floor. So, fresh water is as full as it can get. That's about it for inside the shed here. And the last thing to show you is that diesel heater isn't just plug it into 12 volts. I had to crawl under my shed here and drill 2 holes. This is the exhaust for the diesel heater, comes outside, has a muffler on it. And that black tube there is the intake. So I had to remove this chicken wire and crawl under there to get those put on. And last week, I put in new solar panels that I traveled 2 hours to Mammoth Springs and got a bunch of solar panels. These are bigger, more efficient ones than my old ones. And these power all my power needs plus more. So yesterday we had enough sun, I had to come and unplug them until I can eventually adjust the solar controller to shut off before it overcharges my batteries. So these are working really good. Because I have extra power, I turned my refrigerator, instead of on propane, to electric refrigerator, and I also turned my hot water heater to electric instead of propane to save propane and use up the extra energy. So that's a good sign. But yeah, it was a lot of winter prep, but I'm ready for freezing temperatures tonight. And yeah, that's about it. As you can see, the leaves have been accumulating really well, falling off the trees, so fall is definitely here, and cold temps are on the way.